All right, now that boy Diddy said enough is enough. Yeah, he said that verbatim, and I quote from Diddy, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Combs." Posted that today. Today is the 6th. I'm going to have this posted tomorrow. My first response to that, though, without even diving into the reasonings of why he said something today, like, why you waiting until now, bro? Why now are you all of a sudden going to fight to clear your name, bro? It's too late already, man, but like, I don't know what your team told you, your attorney told you, but like, this just makes you look even worse, dog. I mean, we are gonna read. Well, apparently there's another complaint filed against Diddy, another lawsuit filed against Diddy, and I'm under the impression that instigated this response from Diddy now, and it must be some crazy ish in this complaint that made Diddy want to say something now, bro. Like, crazy ain't the word. It must be like some demented type stuff, bro, because that the accusations that was in the complaint that Cassie filed should have been enough for you to do some campaigning or some damage control to fix your name, but you just sat quietly in the back and didn't say nothing. Like, hey, we rectified the situation, you know, God bless her and her family, bro. Like, you was kind of cruel with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, however that would be interpreted by the audience, for me it was like, hey man, I had to pay her off to shut up. You know what I mean? But now all of a sudden, you know, you singing a whole different tune, cuz. So, you know, we got to pull up these receipts. Trigger warning, this document contains highly graphic information of sexual nature, including sexual assault. All right, let's do it. Preliminary statement, November 16th, Cassie filed a 35-page lawsuit in which she exposed Diddy for subjecting her to nearly a decade of physical sexual abuse, punctuated by rape, sex trafficking, and being forced to engage in drug-fueled, non-consensual sexual encounters with other men. A few days later, 2 other lawsuits were filed against Diddy. One, plaintiff Joe Dickerson Neal, alleged that Diddy drugged and sexually assaulted her when she was a college student. The other lawsuit alleged Diddy and singer Aaron Hall of forcing the plaintiff and another unidentified woman into non-consensual sex. Bro, I should pull up receipts as far as that claim too, because Aaron Hall was out here talking like a motherfucker, bro.
I'm a fucking to death. I like the fucking public, you feel me?
Yeah.
So niggas can't say nothing about it. Them square ass niggas, them precious cake little dick niggas.
Yeah.
I like for them niggas to see how I fuck. Like, if you speak to Joe to see or Puffy or any of them niggas, they been at my house. They all see me fuck. They all know I'm a big nigga.
Yeah.
If a bitch touch my dick and she say my dick is small, then she's a lying bitch.
Yeah.
Tell her to name the tattoo that's on my ribs that says warning. When you get this dick, I'm fucking you up.
At the same time, a 4th lawsuit was filed, this one against Combs Companies and defendant Harv Pierre, the longtime president of Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings. The suit alleged that Mr. Pierre used his position of power at Bad Boy to groom and sexually assault his former assistant, and that Bad Boy looked the other way at the time. Oh, this is now the 5th lawsuit filed against Diddy in the last 3 weeks. Incredibly, the allegations brought by Mrs. Doe are in many ways even more egregious than those brought by his prior victims. Okay. All right. Specifically in 2003, when she was 17 and in the 11th grade, Miss Doe was sex trafficked and gang raped by Diddy, Mr. Pierre, and a third assailant. In short, when she was a teenager, Miss Doe met with Mr. Pierre and a third assailant in a lounge in Detroit, Michigan. While at the lounge, Mr. Pierre insisted that he was best friends with Diddy and even called Diddy with Miss Doe. Diddy convinced Miss Doe, who was half his age at the time, to accompany Mr. Pierre and a third assailant on a private jet to come to his studio in New York City. Before they left for the private jet, Mr. Pierre smoked crack cocaine in a bathroom at the lounge, in which he also sexually assaulted Miss Doe by forcing her to give him oral sex. Mr. Pierre, the third assailant, and another gentleman then escorted the high schooler to a private jet, which flew them to Teterboro, Jersey. There were SUVs awaiting the group at Teterboro, and the four of them were driven to Daddy's House recording studio, a studio famously owned and operated by Diddy and Bad Boy. Like, what's even harder for me to digest is that these men are gonna go through all of this. I mean, it's not them. It's not anything for them to put somebody on a private jet. But why go through all this to get a little 17-year-old girl over there? And I'm sure you can find another 17-year-old girl in the city where you at. Not to like promote statutory, but it's like y'all motherfuckers is that y'all. I just can't relate. Cause it's much more than sex to them, bro. Like there's y'all are demented. Y'all got something going on where you gotta prey on little juvenile girls and shit, bro. Anyway, let's continue reading, bro. While at the studio, Diddy and his associates, including Mr. Pierre, plied Miss Doe with drugs and alcohol. As the night wore on, the 17-year-old Miss Doe became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having sex with anyone, much less someone twice her age. Like, what's the age of consent to sex in Jersey? Because, I mean, consensual shouldn't even fucking matter. If you too young, you too young. Okay, so 16. All right, so they ain't break the law. As far as statutory, bro, but you out here gang raping women, that's a whole different ball game, dog. While at the studio, Miss Doe was gang raped by Diddy, the third assailant, and Mr. Pierre in that order. While Diddy was graping Miss Doe, he complained that he could not get off unless she pinched his nipples as hard as she could. Diddy then watched on as a third assailant, who Miss Doe had not even realized had begun to have sex with her, graped Miss Doe as she told him to stop. After the third assailant was finished, Mr. Pierre took his turn at graping Miss Doe and then violently forced her to give him oral, during which Miss Doe was choking and struggling to breathe. When Mr. Pierre finished, he left Miss Doe in the bathroom alone. Miss Doe fell into the fetal position and lay on the floor. Her vagina was in pain. Finally, after a period of time, Miss Doe regained her bearings. However, she could barely stand up following the gang rape and had to be helped to walk out the building and back into a car. She was taken back to an airport and flown back to Michigan. However, she has very limited recollection of her transport home and only remembers being in the car sometime early in the morning. Unlike many victims who have come forward after decades, Miss Doe can prove that she not only met Mr. Combs on the night in question, but was in his studio in New York City with him on that night. Remember, when viewing these, Miss Doe was 17 years old. Miss Doe has lived with her memories of this fatal night for 20 years, during which time she has suffered extreme emotional distress. Miss Doe's face has been blurred in the following pictures for the purpose of anonymity. You know what, man? I need more than this to believe this particular event. Just because you got pictures of him in the studio does not mean all that shit went down. You could have had pictures with Diddy in the studio. This is what I think fucking happened. The reason why Diddy's speaking up against this shit is probably because this shit didn't fucking happen. Like, you're like, hold on now. I ain't gonna have y'all motherfuckers lying on me now, right? Like, I couldn't say shit about anything happened before because, you know, all that shit was true. And I ain't gonna take that shit to court because I ain't trying to look crazy. But this, I gotta put my foot down now because this bitch is bullshit. But I can't talk like that because I do not want to discredit the potential of a woman being victimized to this extent. If this fucking happened, dog, then he deserved what he deserved from doing. He deserved what he deserved from all the other shit he's been accused of doing thus far. But this time he decided to speak up about it. Like, why now? It's because I think that he knows this shit didn't fucking happen. Like, that shit read out of a fucking, like, a fiction novel, bro. Like, you got these old grown-ass men gonna meet a 17-year-old at a bar, fly her to a whole different city, and then gang rape her in the fucking studio, and then I have pictures that prove that I was with him on these dates. Yeah, something don't smell right with this one. This is like the best time, the opportune time to capitalize off of the downfall of Diddy, bro. It would make more sense to me that that's why this girl wants to be Jane Doe. She was 17. She got pics of being in the damn studio with Diddy, and she gonna make these claims, bro. So I'm gonna wait. I ain't gonna be fucking saying Diddy did this shit, cause I don't fucking know. Something don't smell right with this one. Let me know what y'all thinking though, bro. But it would make sense that he didn't do it this time. Hence why he made this statement. Hey man, stop laughing, TV. It ain't funny. You're gonna fight for his goddamn name now, bro. But it's too late now, bro. You already know you're an animal. So maybe you didn't do this was a possibility. You didn't do this particular shit, but you did all this other shit. Well, you still motherfucking R. Kelly 2.0.